Hello dear students, today we are going to start class 9th economics chapter 1 the story of village Palampur part 1. Students, in this part we will see introduction about village Palampur, the concept of production, factors of production, land is fixed, multiple cropping, modern farming methods. Students, as economics subject is new for the students of class 9th, as it was not in your previous class, that is class 8th. So it is a new subject for you. Because of that, there is need to know what this new subject is about, what we are going to study in this new section of social science. Let us see what basically we study in economics. Students, in economics, basically we see what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, and all economic systems are based on these three principles. Students, in economics, we are not going to see the broad concepts as it is introduction to economics. So some basic concepts we will clear in this class. So let us start our first chapter in economics, the story of village Palampur. Students, this is the first chapter of our economics section. Now, learning objectives of this chapter, what we will get by learning this chapter. We are learning it to familiarize with the basic concepts and factors of production, yield, surplus, to understand the concepts of production and factors of production, to understand the importance of factors of production in producing a commodity, to know about the disparity in the existing distribution of agricultural land. Now, students, we will see the overview of this chapter. As this chapter is a story of a village, that is Palampur. Palampur is an imaginary village. The story of this village is also imaginary. This village is imagined as an ideal village. Through this story, we will understand the basic concepts in economics like production, consumption, investment, factors of production, and some other issues. As crop farming is the principal production activity of the people of Palampur. Mainly people are doing farming activity in the village. It is basically through this activity that they generate income for their living. Other important activities through which the villagers earn their living or generate income for their livelihood are small scale manufacturing like pottery making, small tools and implements for farming, dairy farming, spinning and weaving, shopkeeping that caters to daily needs, etc. These are called non-farm activities. As students, we have seen that the main activity of the people in Palampur is farming. On the other side, we have seen that some people, they do non-farm activities also in the village. It means farming activities going on, and as well as non-farm activities are also taking place in village. Students, so in this way we come to know that people, they are doing economic activities, those are farm activities and non-farm activities. Now the status of the basic infrastructural facilities in Palampur. Students, for the production we need infrastructure. We need improved infrastructure for good production. Same as for production, infrastructure is needed in Palampur village. Let us see what kind of infrastructural facilities are there in village Palampur. First of all, we will see the system of roads. The village is well connected to nearby villages and towns through roads. It means roads are good in Palampur, and these roads are connected to towns so that people can do market activities through these roads. It also supplies wheat, sugarcane, and jaggery to nearby towns. For this, the people in village use various means of transport such as tongas, tractors, jeeps, bogies. So, along with the roads, good transport facilities are also in the village. Most of the people in the village own motorcycles. The village has a dispensary for the treatment of sick, one primary school, and one high school is there. There is no college for higher studies. People have to go to neighboring towns to get higher studies. In this way, there is basic infrastructural facilities in Palampur village. In Palampur, production of wheat and rice exceeds its domestic consumption. The surplus is exported to the neighboring towns. Most families include small and marginal farmers. Some members of families also work as landless laborers. Besides agriculture, poultry and dairy farming, pottery, etc. also exist in the village. Palampur, as we have seen, is not only self-sufficient but generates surplus of wheat and rice for export to the neighboring towns. It means because of good infrastructural facilities, we have seen surplus production in the village. Now the concept of production. Farming is the principal production activity of the people of Palampur. Students, we have noted that farming is the principal production activity of the people of Palampur through which they generate income for their living. So one thing should be outright and clear, that production must be an activity that generates income. Farming generates income, therefore it is a productive activity. What is farming about? The farmer buys certain inputs, seeds, manures, etc. He uses these inputs to get an output in terms of rice or wheat. Thus, in farming, as in any other production activity, inputs are converted into output. Let us see the definition of production. Students, Production is the process of creating various goods and services which are consumed by the people. It is a process in which some materials are transformed from one form to another. Things utilized in the production process are called inputs or factors of production, and the things obtained from the process are called outputs. Factors of production. Students, factors of production are land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. Students, only raw material is not enough to convert seed into wheat or to convert wood into a table. We need these essential factors of production. Let us see factors of production. Factors of production are the inputs needed in a process of conversion or production of goods and services. Students, let us see one example to understand this concept properly. The farmer first needs land. He also needs a tractor to plug the fields. Things like tractors and threshers are called capital. Further, he needs manpower. Those are workers to cultivate the soil. In economics, that is called labor. Thus, the three important factors of production that the farmer or any other producer needs are land, labor, and capital. One fourth requirement is also there, that is entrepreneur. Now students, one by one we will see what these factors are. Now, requirements of production. As we discussed through the example that different factors are needed for the production of a commodity. So let us see. First requirement of the production is land. Students, all natural resources that are used to produce goods and services such as water, sun, plants, animals, etc. Or we can say land is the factor of production which is available to us as a free gift of nature. It includes not only the surface of soil but also other free gifts of nature like forests, minerals, etc. Now, the second requirement of the production is labor. Now, let us see what is labor. Any effort a person devotes to a task for which that person is paid, that is labor. Or we can say labor is the human factor of production. This factor includes all the mental and physical activities which are required in the process of production. The nature of production activities may require different types of labor. For example, some production activities may require only manual labor, while others may need skilled workers to carry out the necessary production activities. Students, as some people they do manual work, but some workers they are skilled and trained, they do mental work, but both are the labor. The next requirement, that is the third requirement, is physical capital. Now, before that, let us discuss some characteristics of labor. It is a human factor, active factor, cannot be separated from laborer. Laborer sells his labor, not himself. Difference in efficiency, different laborers are there and they are having different capabilities. Labor is mobile. It means that labor can move from place to place and from profession to profession. Weak bargaining power. relationship between wage rate and labor supply. So these are some features of labor. Now let us see physical capital. Capital is the stock of such man-made goods which can be used for further production. For example, stock of raw materials and stock of machines are capital. Physical capitals, we can say all the inputs required in the production at different stages are called physical capital. Physical capital has two important components. Those are fixed capital and working capital. Students, fixed capital refers to the stock of produced means of production like machines, which can be repeatedly used in the process of production for several years and which are of high value. Means tools and machines are used for the production. They are fixed capital. Many times we can use this capital. Again and again we can make the use of fixed capital and it is of high value. Now working capital. Raw material and money in hand is called working capital. Working capital includes stock of raw materials, consumable which is exhausted during the process of production. It also includes cash requirements for meeting routines, expenditure of the business. Easily you can say that is raw material and money in hand is called working capital. Now the fourth requirement of the factors of production is human capital. Students, human capital refers to the knowledge and entrepreneurial skills used in the process of production. Capital has two aspects, human capital and physical capital. Physical capital refers to the stock of produced means of production. That is what we discussed in the previous section. Human capital refers to the knowledge and entrepreneurial skills that are emerging as an equally significant factor of production as physical capital. In human capital, in the form of organizational skills, and organizes other factors of production such as land, labor and physical capital. Students, organizational skills refer to the ability of a person to organize the factors of production to produce outputs. Again, it is human capital in the form of entrepreneurial skills which undertakes the risks of business. Thus, organizational skills and entrepreneurial skills are the two important components of human capital. And human capital is very much significant, it is very much important in the factors of production. If there will be no entrepreneur, no human capital, there will be no use of other factors of production. So, human capital is also essential factors of production. Land is fixed. Students, it is a fact that land is fixed. As we have seen, farming is the main production activity in Palampur. 75% of the people who are working are dependent on farming for their livelihood. They are farmers or farm workers. Students, some farmers, they are not having their own land, they are working on others' land, they are farm workers. Land is also unequally distributed among the people. Some are having big size of land, some are having less land. The standard unit of measuring land is hectare. Some other units are also used in the village. So here we have seen that most of the people in Palampur are engaged in farming. As we have seen, land is fixed, but demand is not fixed. There is need to increase agricultural output, but how it can be, how it is possible. The story of Palampur is very interesting in this regard. Now, multiple cropping and modern farming methods are helpful in producing more from the same piece of land. Now, students, what is multiple cropping? Multiple cropping refers to the practice of cultivating more than one crop on a piece of land during 1 year. Now, all the favorable conditions are there in the village. Because of that, farmers are able to grow different kinds of crops. Good soil is there, resources are available, irrigation facility is there. That's why it is possible to grow different kinds of crops in their fields. Let us understand this. During the monsoon season, that is called Kharif, in the months of June and July, the farmers grow rice, jowar, bajra, maize, jute and cotton. In the winter cropping season, sowing begins in October to December for crops such as wheat, gram, oilseeds and barley. In the summer cropping season called Zaid, farms with good irrigational facilities grow oilseeds, pulses and vegetables. In this way, now we can understand that farmers are able to grow different kinds of crops in their fields. The next method to increase the production from the same piece of land, that is modern farming method. Now let us see what is modern farming method. Modern farming methods. Students, farmers in Palampur, they are using new techniques and farming methods. They are very innovative. They have gradually shifted to new techniques of production, including the use of tractors and threshers, new machineries they are using to increase their production, and have also adopted new methods of farming. Along with this, they are also using HYV seeds. Students, India witnessed the Green Revolution, implying a revolutionary rise in agricultural productivity in late 1960s. It was largely because of the use of high-yielding seeds, HYV seeds. HYV seeds gives more production. The villagers in Palampur quickly adapted themselves to HYV technology. Consequently, there has been a substantial increase in productivity of land and accordingly a substantial increase in the agricultural output. So students, modern farming methods are very much helpful for increasing the production from the same piece of land. We can apply modern farming techniques by new machineries, HYV seeds. Farmers, with the help of these techniques, were able to increase, they are able to increase the production of different crops. Now, 5 important ways to get more from the same piece of land. As students, we discussed that with the help of these two techniques, farmers are able to increase the production of them. That is multiple cropping. Different kind of crops can be grown on the same piece of land in a particular year. Along with that, they are using modern farming techniques. Let us see what are these techniques. use of mechanized means of production like thresher and tractor, use of HYV seeds. They are using now at the place of traditional seeds, they are using HYV seeds to grow more crops to increase their production. Enhancement of irrigation facilities. As irrigation facilities enable farmers to grow more crops, increased cultivated area. Earlier, earlier this facility was not there. Because of that, the small farmers, they were dependent on monsoon only for the irrigation. Now they are having irrigation facilities. Restoring to multiple cropping system. Already we have seen different kind of crops are grown under the multiple cropping system. Now land reforms are also responsible for the increase in the production. In land reforms requiring legislative effort by the government to recognize ownership rights of the actual cultivator of the soil, and secondly, redistribute the surplus land among landless workers or marginal holders. Still, many workers, farm workers, are working on others' land. They are not having their own land. The land distribution is unequal. For that, there is need to take some steps, and government should focus on this. Now, after the explanation, there is need to test your progress, check your understanding. Now try to give the answers of these questions. What is production? What are the various factors of production? Write the distinct characteristics of each factor. What are the different ways of increasing production on the same piece of land? Explain it. So students, this is the first part of the chapter. Thank you.